Hi everyone, and welcome back to my channel. So today I'm coming in with the Cute Christmas Luxury Topper collection again from the Christmas Blockbuster 2024 when it was released. But before I go on to making these and explaining what I'm doing, I'd just like to say thank you for all my subscribers out there. It does mean a lot to me, knowing that you're still watching, and it really does mean a lot. And thank you to all of my new subscribers. Do really appreciate you all as well. Yeah, so I am enjoying my channel, doing my channel when I can, for you guys to take away some ideas of what you can use your Hunkydory kits on. This is all I do it for. It's just a hobby. It's not something that I get paid to do. So just wanted to get that out there. So now this is the topper set that we're using, is the Feline Festive one. So obviously you get your printed cardstock and you get your foiled cardstock, but as I've already cut my cardstock up into sections ready to go onto the cards. So this is the first one, this cute little cat. So I'm doing an 8x8 card. So this piece of card is cut from an A3 sheet of cardstock at 300 DSM, and it's cut down to 16 by, then I've scored it at the 8 and then I've turned it and use my trimmer to cut the 8, and you get a little bit of excess which you can turn into more or less a DL card, or a smaller card than that if you wish. And then the gold mirror is cut to 2 notches under the 8 by 2 notches under the 8, and the printed cardstock is cut to 4 notches under the 8 by 4 notches under the 8. So I'm just going to move these bits to the side for the time being, and we're going to do the simple straightforward one first. I'll say simple straightforward. So we're going to come in with our glue, which is the Cloud or purpose glue. You can use whatever glue you like, or tape, your preference is yours. I prefer to use the 2 glues just for that bit of wriggle, so that you can move it about a little bit to get it in the perfect place. And then I'm going to bring in this gold mirror piece. I'm going to place this down onto there, if I can get it in the right place, like so. And then you turn this gold one over, and then you do the same again with your 2 glues or your tape or whatever glue you find works for you. And then the tacky glue on these 4 corners as normal. And then make sure, I always do my cards 10th fold for some reason. It's just a habit, I suppose. I don't know why, but I prefer making most of my cards this way. You can do it that way if you prefer to have a normal opening card. The choice is yours. We'll have to do some that way, I suppose. I have done a few that way over the time. So now I need the topper sheet. I'll pour this out. This is the biggest topper in this one that we're going to use. If I can get the pip off for that one, and that one there, and then this one on this side. Just going to move that to the side. So I'm going to take out my inner, I think at the moment. I'm not sure if I'm going to be using my inner one. I'm not 100% sure on that one as of yet. And then we're going to Oh, okay. Right. Can't remember what I was going to do, but we'll go with it anyway. So leave that to the side for a minute. Because this has got to sit on here. And I didn't really want to cover him over, or her over, but I'm going to have to, because I don't think I can do it any other way. Let's have a look. Just trying to decide what I'm going to do. Actually, I've got a good idea, maybe. I don't know if it's going to work, but I've never actually sort of thought along these lines before. So I'm just going to give this a go and see. So bear with me, guys, while I try something completely and utterly and totally different to what I normally do. So I think I'm going to come this way, and then I'm going to do this one sort of like coming across there like so. So it gives it a different effect. So all I'm going to do with this one is just go in with this tacky glue, because it's going to go flat. I'm not going to put any foam pads on this one, and I'm going to put this one so it comes across there like so. And then I'm going to do the same with the other half of the frame. Tacky glue across there and around the edges. Oops, splurging out a little bit. And then place this one down in this far corner. So we've got one in each corner, like so. Might have to put a little bit more glue and a bit of pressure on just to get that to stick into place. And it will stay flat. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this one exactly the same way I cut the first one. So I'm just going to line this up with the trimmer. So if you cut line, put the corner to corner in that little tram line, so that it cuts them exactly the same as it cut the bigger frame. And I'm going to do exactly the same with these two that I did with the first frame. So I'm still going to see that little puddy cap, but I'm going to bring this out just a tad like so on both. So I'm going to go in again with your tacky glue all the way down the middle to the edge as far as you can go, and then bring in your card. Place this where you want it to be, give it a bit of a move about, leave it to settle, and then do the same with this one. Turn it over and bring it onto this piece here. So now you've got it sort of like where you want it. That bit is really annoying me. Bear with me, guys. I'm just going to stick a bit of glue onto here because it's moving, it's curling up a little bit. So you just go in and under, just blob a little bit of glue. It does dry clear, so you haven't got to worry about it looking messy. So it will dry clear for you. Just give them a press down. And there we have it. And then this is going to sit, so it's going to hide them two bits there. I think I'm going to put it like that, so it's hiding them two bits, and then here we can figure out what we're going to do there afterwards, or you know, just something a little bit different that I wanted to try. So originally I wasn't going to cut them in half, I was just going to use them as they were. And then while I was looking at that, I was thinking, oh, maybe they look better if I cut them in half. As I say, just have a play around, and then you can decide where you want them to go you know, if you don't like them once you've done it, once you've cut them off, there ain't much you can do about it. You've either got to use them or discard them. But I kind of sort of like that sort of look, to be fair. It's a lot different to what I've imagined it would look, but I'm happy with the outcome of that one. So it's utilising both of the frames, and as I always say on Hunkydory, don't be afraid to cut into your frames, you know, when you're making cards, because that's all part of the process, you know what I mean? You know, cut the frames in half, cut bits off, use just certain bits, you know, you do you. But that's just a way to utilise them frames if you don't want to cover up the main image on your cardstock that you've been, you know, working with. So I'm just going to place this so it sort of lines up with the edge and edge of them there. So it's going to sit right in that top corner, which is okay, it's not a problem. So I've got another 2 cards that I want to do as well, this one, so you're going to get 3 cards of this one. So just my topper. So now I need to find a sentiment. So wishing you a perfect Christmas, which I can use that one, and that can go, where shall we put you? You can go along there. Yeah, I think you're going to go there. So we're going to come in with our foam pads and foam this baby up. Pull the back ends off of them. Use a bit of purple glue stick. Place this down. Do I want to place that down there now? Or do I want to place it here somewhere? No, I'm going to stick with it down the bottom where I originally was going to put it anyway. Try and line it up so you can see the gold trim of that one. And then we're going to come in, or I'm going to come in with these little paw prints. So I'm going to put them so they're kind of covering sort of like that. So they're going to sit like overlapping a bit. So let's come in with this foam pad. I'm going to have to trim it down a little bit because these buttons are so small. I think that might be enough. Let's see. Let's put that on that side. And then you can go on this one, like so. And then you can go on there. And then you can go right there. And then that covers up the 2 little bits that are hanging, well not hanging, but the 2 little bits where I cut it. So, I'm going to put some gems on that in a second, but that is looking how that is looking. I'm quite pleased with that one, to be honest. So I'm going to come in with some of my gems, but what I'm going to do, I'm just going to put them on here, this corner. So one there. I don't know, I might go that way with them for a change. I'll get my gems, and I did have my poke tool, which is right by the side of me. Don't need them too big really. So, oops, 1, 2, and then I've got a smaller one somewhere. Where are you? There you are. And there. And I think that's the only gems I'm going to put on that one, to be fair. I'm quite happy with the outcome of that card. I think it looks really nice. Sorry, just having a drink. So that is that one. So let's get straight on to card number 2. So card number 2 is over here. Now this one was a bit tricksy. So this one is a 7 by 7. This one is cut to 2 notches under the 7 both ways, and then trimming this one off was a little bit of tricksy to do. So I had this bit on this side of it and another bit this side that was different, that had a bit of blue on. So I've cut this bit off and trimmed that down to the 4 notches under the 4 notches under the 7 by 4 notches under the 7, I think it is. Yeah, and then just took a bit off of each side so that I could do it. So as I say, it's easier to trim bit by bit than to take too much off, and because you can't put it back on once you've cut it. So I tend to cut mine sort of like a bit cautiously and do a notch by notch when I need to have the 2 sides the same, if you know what I mean. So this one is going to go, I might do this one. Should I do this one a different way? I don't know, I was thinking of doing it maybe a normal standard way card was, they make cards in the shops, but I don't know. I tend to like mine that way more for some reason. But yeah, I think I'm going to go with the way I normally go. And then we go with this one. So just place that. Like so. And then put the glue on them 4 corners as normal. And then place this onto your gold mirror. As even and as good as you're going to get it. Okay. And then we had this bit of like teal adorable scoreable. So I've cut this down to 6 by 6. And then I've used a centimetre side on my scoreboard, and I've toned it so that it sits at an angle like that, so you can get the scores going at the angle, and then scored at 1/2 inch all the way along to the 4 centimetre mark, and then turned it and done exactly the same all the way to the 4 centimetre, turned it again, did it this way, turned it again. So you get in, I normally put this point up to the 10, I'll show you. So what I did was put the point, hopefully it'll pick it up on here, so I put this point in there and held it there so it was in the 10, and then scored at the 1, you know, like at the 1 inch, 1/2 inch, and then 1, and then 1.5, 2, 2.5, 3, 3.5, 4. So if you get it through that 10 or 11 rather, mostly 11, yeah. So I've kind of moved around a little bit as I've gone along. I need to pay a bit more attention to where I'm placing it, but make sure you put the point at the same point every time you turn the card to get it in the, to get the scores in the right places. So this is going to come across on here, so this is going to be a little bit off because this scoring's a little bit off, but to me it's still going to work, so I'm not fussy that much. And then I'm going to use this I'm going to bring this in, I'm going to use that, and hopefully, what am I going to do? Because I've made a boo-boo with this one, so I might not be able to use this one. I might have to do something totally different. Because I was originally meant to use the frame that I've just used on my first card for this one. Oh dear. Okay, well we're going to have to just do something totally different now. So we're going to have to go with this one in the middle. Maybe. My boo-boo, my mistake. Me bad. Right, I'm going to do something totally different, guys. So just bear with me a second while I grab a bit of adorable scoreable. Again. Oops. I think this is the same colour. Yeah, so we're going to grab a bit of teal. I'm going to do a what am I going to do? Let's do it this way, I think. So I'll do 3 centimetres, 3 inches by 4 notches under the 7 maybe. Let's have a look. Or do I still go with this one? Where's my topper? No, I don't like that. Yeah, I'm going to do that. Okay, let's get a bit of gold mirror then. Because now I'm doing something totally different, and so this is 3. So I need to go 2 notches above the 3. And then 2 notches above this. What did I do that as? Another 2 notches off of there. Like so. Put them in the bin. So I'm going to bring in my scoreboard. I do have a ribbler, but I'm going to do this on the scoreboard. So I'm going to turn it upside down. I'm going to bring in my score tool. And I'm going to score all the way along. 7. Now every score mark there is on the board. I'm going to have to, I think, turn that around maybe, so that I can score the rest, because I can't do the other way because of my hands don't allow me, so I might have to go over that again to get a bit more of a score in there. that'll do. So you score every half an inch, and then bring this in, your glues. Glue in there, put glue in them 4 corners. I'd forgotten that I was going to be using that frame from that first card on the second card. Got carried away with my first card. Never mind, things happen sometimes. It's not a problem, I'll just swap it around. So yeah, it was a mistake, but not a big, you know, big mistake, because it's not something that, if you can't rectify it, as if I can't rectify it, which I did, I'm not too fussed. You know, these things happen in crafts. So that's going on to there, and then this is going to come across there, and then we find a sentiment that we want. And I think I'm going to come in with, let me see now, what sentiment do I want to use? A gift for someone special, sending warm wishes. Okay, we'll come back to the sentiment in a minute. Let's put this, fix this onto here, I think. Peel these off. Let's put you in the middle. Let's go with this one. Let's go with this one up this side. And then let's go with Feline Festive. Let's go with that one. Just on there. And then some gems. Three along there. And then 3 along here. And that's card number 2 done. Put that on top of the other one. And then I'm just going to go and sort out card number 3. It's only a little one, so I'll be back in a second. Okay, so to finish this card off, or this last card, because I think that's where I got to. I've done the second card, and then I had to go out, and then I'll come back to finish this off if I can get my glue working, that is. And the going out bit was a bit of a trek because I had to go to the doctor's for a blood pressure review today, so I had to be there at 5. I left here at virtually 20 past 4. No, 20 past 3, sorry. No, I was right the first time. 20 past 4, got the bus, got into the town where my no, what is going on with this glue? Got into the town where my doctor's is. It's early. Sat there waiting for, I don't know, 10 minutes I think. My appointment was at 5. I sat there, done a bit, actually I went and done a bit of craft shopping, and then I went to the doctor's. I sat in there for 15 minutes. I think my appointment should have been at 5. I sat there for 15 minutes. Appointment was late. The nurse. So then I come out of there and I had to go and wait for my bus to come back home, and the buses that I have to get where I live are a nightmare. So they are called centre buses, and they are the worst bus company I've ever known. So I went back into town after my doctor's appointment. Blood pressure's okay today, but then the ones that I did were when I was working, so blood pressure does go up when I work. It does get stressed when I'm at work. So I've got to now do my blood pressure for 7 days and send in the results to the doctor. But I've just done that and I don't need to do that bit yet. I need to do this bit. It's because I'm talking about my doctor's buses. Yeah, so it's taken me till gone 6 o'clock to get home. So I'm a little bit like, for God's sake, I come out of the doctor's at what, about 20 past 5, and I didn't get home here until gone 6. It's like the worst bus service ever. There was they either miss a bus out, or they bus is running late. Traffic, I know traffic's quite bad at this time of the day, but at the same time it's like a bus should have been there at 5:35 and it didn't even turn up. So a pain in the bum. So I've got all these borders, so what I need to do, these border strips, I'll get off my eye horse now. So I need to cut these into 4-inch strips. I only get 2 though, so I don't know how that's going to work, but never mind, we'll keep going. Anyway, it does say, that's the thing, 4-inch, might be, yeah, 4-inch. So I've only got the 2, so I don't know how you can okay, so the one I'm doing is this one out of the magazine. So it's Meowing Christmas, and it says snip the 4 borders on the top sheet into 4-inch lengths and stick them alternately onto the blue steel layer, leaving equal gaps between each strip and using tape to fix them in place. but you don't have enough strips to be able to do that. So I don't know, because you only get 2 strips on there. You only get one sheet of that topper. You don't get any more than the 1 sheet on that in these toppers. So I'm a bit bamboozled by that statement on there. So I'm just going to do my own thing, I think. Because I haven't got enough strips to go all the way across like it's showing in the book. So I don't know. Just going to put one there. And I'll put that one there. That'll have to do on that, because it doesn't make sense. So if I'm reading something wrong on there and you've got the same kit as me, then by all means let me know if I've done something wrong with this. And I know there's a bit of it says there's a written tip there, but I don't know what it says. I'll have a look at that in a minute. I mean, the card is going to be okay as is anyway, so I'm not too worried about it. So put some more glue on there because I glued it before I put them bits down. So I'm just going to place that onto there. You're not really going to see the strips anyway from. So it says use full lengths of foiled border at the top and bottom to make the background, but use see, that's where I went wrong. Use snippets to get these bits here. Oh well, it doesn't matter, it's too late now, I've done it, so it's going to stay like that. Should have read the top tip first. Dear me, woman. Anyway, I think putting this card and finishing this card off is probably the one thing that I'm going to get done now. So I'm going to take this topper sentiment. So what I should have done was just done like, I don't know, maybe 1 inch or something like that. It's too late, it's going as is now. It's still a nice card either way. Just going to put some gems on here. Might use some smaller ones because it's a smaller card. And just hope that I haven't put this on upside down now. That'd be my next big major issue, wouldn't it? Putting this all upside down. And I'm going to put some on the opposite corner, this side, to finish this one off. 1, 2, and then the smaller one makes 3. So that is that card done now. So a bit of a drama was in between going out and coming back in and all of that malarkey. So this one, because I've got the present, I'm going to use this last topper sentiment up on this card, because it says about a gift for someone special. So I'm going to put this one around about here, I think. So that's going to use that up. So this is card number 1, and card number 2, and card number 3. So that is this one finished. My guys, sorry for the last demo, the last card, sorry, not demo, the last make on that one. Didn't go to plan. Well, it did go to plan, and it kind of didn't because I didn't read the top tip on that, but never mind. As they say, accidents happen sometimes, mistakes get made, blah 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 blah. I'm still happy with how it's turned out, to be fair. So I can't have, you know, things are going to go wrong every now and again when you're making cards. So, and I don't edit mine out, as some of you already know, because at the end of the day it just shows what you can be doing with these cards or with these kits like these, and if things go wrong, how you can like sort the problem out so it doesn't happen again, or how you can get around, you know, sorting a mistake out. That's the way I look at it. So that is it for this one, guys. Hope you stuck with it. Sorry for the little bit of the boo-boo with that last card, and well, all three of them really, but I'm still happy with how they've turned out. I mean, at the end of the day, they're still pretty cute cards. So yeah, till next time, guys, that is it. So take care, and thank you for watching. So till next time, bye for now.